My first call was to the district attorney's office. The DA, unfortunately, is out of town for the week. I think he's on vacation.
Okay.
So he's out for the week. I did talk to the ADA that was actually in the office. Unfortunately, he just started 3 days ago, so he didn't have a lot of answers for me.
Okay.
The district attorney, the assistant district attorney that handles juvenile matters is out of the office until 1:30. Ryan, and I don't remember his last name.
Okay. He's gone till when? I'm sorry.
He would be a better resource for me to get answers, but
he's not there today, or
he's out of the office till they figured 1:30.
Okay.
They didn't know if he had court in the afternoon.
Okay.
So I didn't have that answer because obviously he's
okay.
helpful. So I didn't get a whole lot of answers there.
Okay.
As far as your issue with the judge, the only suggestion he had, if you had concerns about the judge's performance, is the Wisconsin Judicial Commission.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay, because I haven't. So.
Okay.
So that was the suggestion with that.
Okay.
So when I ran into a roadblock at the district attorney's office, then I called down to Human Services.
Okay.
And I actually talked to Ray, who is not retired.
Okay.
He said I'm close, but I'm not. I haven't retired yet.
Okay.
So he gave me a little bit of background. Basically, what he said is that there are other circumstances that people's children can be taken away from them without being charged with a crime. He didn't go into tons of details.
But I can provide statutes that say that you have to commit a crime in order to have your children removed.
He told me under Chapter 48, and he didn't give me specific Chapter 48 dot whatever. He just said under Chapter 48, there are statute children to be taken away under that temporary. When I brought up the TPC, he said, no, that's what starts the process, the temporary placement order.
Temporary placement change, because I have full custody of all these children.
Okay. Temporary.
Yeah, I know.
The terminology, not my area of expertise.
Yeah, that's fine. I know what you're trying to say.
So that's what gets the ball rolling. Once the ball gets rolling, then everything that happens involving children and their parents has to go before a judge. Nothing can be decided. It isn't like one of their workers down there makes the ultimate decision that nope, we're taking your kids. They have to present their case to the judge.
Which they haven't done. That's a fact-finding hearing, and that hasn't been done yet.
Okay, well that
should have been done within 30 days. That's the stuff. I can provide you those statutes where it's supposed to be done within 30 days, and it hasn't been. This is going to be going on a year. It's not until September 26th and 27th for them to prove their false allegations. So they haven't even been proven yet my kids have been removed. And according to and according to the state statutes, they're supposed to have the children remain in the home unless they're in imminent danger and harm's way, which is loss of a limb or a life. Just so you know.
Well, the potential for loss of life or limb.
Right. Which my children were not in that.
Again,
potential.
I wasn't there, not for me to argue.
Oh. Well, no, I'm not arguing. I'm just stating a fact.
And they rule on other, what he said is that in the juvenile court system, it's more of a civil process because that's why the doors are closed. That I'm familiar with. You know, if there's a juvenile hearing going on up in the courthouse, you know, right now if we walk up in the courthouse and there's criminal hearings going on, the doors have to be open so that you, me, or anybody on the street can
right, because it's a public building and we have the right
with some exception, and this is the exception, under the juvenile, when it's a juvenile hearing, those doors are closed and only people that are allowed in there are people that pertain to the case.
And why is that?
Well, because juveniles, they protect juveniles because they're kids.
But they're not protecting my kids, and so...
You're jumping around a little bit on me, okay? So again, really, as an example, let's say my children were in court. It's really none of your business what's going on with my kids, just like it's none of...
Right, but
imagine I'm Joe Blow's citizen, not an investigating officer.
Right, but that's family courts, and that's between parents. But see, this is supposed to be something that is abuse or neglect is something that is a criminal action that's against the law. So therefore, then it should be open courts, and it should be done in the criminal court system.
Yes and no. Yeah, you're right, but you're getting too far ahead. First of all, when they start investigating it, it falls underneath this juvenile court system. So that's when it's closed, and that's when only immediate people are involved.
Right, but they kick out...
Would I be able to go in?
That I don't know. I didn't specifically
Well, the judge let you in, but
Yeah.
they're kicking out people that are...
They're not going to let me in. Unless I'm involved with the case, I can't go in there and be nosy. Now, if I'm assigned to court security that day, then
But
yes.
But I could ask you to be a court reporter or court watcher and come in and watch so that there is nothing...
Potentially, that's up to the judge. Again, that's out of my area of expertise too, so...
Okay. I'm just asking. I'm just stating because I know what my rights are, and I know.
And that's fine. But what I'm just saying, like the girls up front here can just walk in and watch a juvenile process. Now you're right. Now, if you were to be charged criminally, then that would be open, Now, not to say that parts of it couldn't be closed if they start bringing, oftentimes, in my experience in criminal court, I don't know your kids' names, doesn't really matter, but let's say their initials are AB.
Right.
They refer to everything as AB
yes, their
instead
initials,
of
absolutely.
Allison.
Yes, and last
Boyd.
name. Yeah, I understand that.
Okay. So that's kind of why that's. Your case evidently never got to the criminal aspect of it. Again, I wasn't there. I don't know. I didn't want to keep you out here waiting all day.
Yeah, I know.
So I got the Reader's Digest version for Ray. Okay. So anyhow, what he also said is when they go to court, you don't have to be charged with a crime or even convicted of a crime for children to be taken away. What the judge has to find is the preponderance of the evidence.
Right.
Familiar with that?
Absolutely. I'm familiar with everything. That's why I'm reciting statutes and things to you, and where I'm saying they're acting under the color of the law, and they can't be drawing out litigation in situations where these children are removed. And when my children are in fact being neglected while in foster homes or in different places, and I go to these child protective service workers, which it's their job to protect my child, and they do nothing, they won't look at the evidence. My lawyer at the time had tried to have this stuff looked at. That now in fact is a crime. They are now in fact not doing their job.
And where was that allegedly happening?
In foster home and with the biological father of.
Where was that?
Plover.
The
And we
village?
went to Plover
yeah.
Police
And I
Department,
went to-
reported,
yeah.
and they did nothing.
Yeah. So that's why I'm just trying to say that my children's rights are being violated. My rights are being violated. They're acting under the color of the law. Under the color of the law, they have to be held responsible and accountable for unlawful actions and activities that they're doing. And they, just because it's a civil matter doesn't mean that they can break laws, that they can forge, that they can extort, that they can lie, that they can keep my children from me.
Sure.
That's all. That's my point.
Again, they have their case, and it goes before the judge, and so I don't know how you would get that reopened if you want to bring those things. Just make sure I was blocking away.
Yep, this is a community outreach day. We're just
They want to.
giving, some
I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
It's okay.
Law enforcement and police and emergency. So.
I'm just saying, I know that mine and my children's, what I was saying was our rights have been violated, and I have, and my children have, and my daughter has tried to say she wants to come back home, and now they're supposed to be reunifying the family, right? But that's not in fact taking place. Now wait, by the court order now, if we want to go by a court order and say that Portage County Health and Human Services isn't doing what the court and the judge has ordered, now in fact they're committing an act that is not lawful because the judge put it in paper. They are not allowing my children to see one another and visit.
So did you try readdressing this with the courts? Because that would be the first step, is to have the courts.
The judge's calendar. So what do I? How would I do that?
I don't know, because I don't deal with the judges. You'd have to go over there and find out what you need to do to reopen the case.
Okay, and I also want to have a court watcher, somebody in there watching what's going on, because when I try to speak up and assert my power as Surrey jurist, which is my right, the judge tells me I have to get an attorney. The judge will not give me a jury by the jury of my peers in this civil matter. That's an unlawful act. He can't do that.
And again, that would be a complaint you need to file with.
No. That would be with you, because. And so who watches if the court system is doing things that aren't
There's gotta be
unlawful?
somebody at the state level that oversees the judges. Obviously, in a criminal matter, if you were to appeal it, it goes to the appellate court, and if people aren't satisfied, it goes from the appellate to the Supreme in the
correct.
state, and then you go to district court, and then
Yes.
potentially,
Yes.
Supreme Court.
On February 2nd,
Okay.
I witnessed.
Well, let's just wait. I'm going to let him finish up because he's
go
going to
ahead.
So,
I'll let you.
so anyway, at this point, there is nothing that I can do for you at the sheriff's office. Okay.
Okay.
I talked to Human Services. They've assured me that they've done everything that they are allowed to do under the law. You are certainly welcome to file a complaint.
So they assured you, and you're going to take their word at.
I have no reason not to believe that they haven't.
And you have no reason to not
this
believe
is-
what I'm saying
well,
isn't true.
Because this whole aspect is a civil matter, so it needs to be handled in the court system.
I just want to clarify that.
I saw no evidence. You told me that these documents were forged, but I couldn't read the one. And again,
So would you like me to go get a better one? I have 3 of them. I have
don't
3.
have have
Okay.
no reason to believe that the Human Services Department, through those levels, I mean, obviously you start out with some sort of caseworker.
So they can not go with their own policies and procedures on how to do their job.
I can't comment on their policies and procedures because I don't know them.
Right, but I'm wanting somebody to look into that. Do you understand that?
Again, there's got to be somebody at the state level that may do
Okay.
that.
Well,
it's just not us.
and then can you contact when you finish talking to the district attorney? And then is there a way I can leave a number for you to contact me back?
Sure. And I don't know what he's going to be able to tell me, because here's the other thing: the district attorneys are not allowed to give legal advice.
I'm not asking for legal advice. I'm asking for people to be, if they're doing unlawful activity,
Yeah.
for them to
And
be.
what the process is, and I think they can provide me that information.
Okay.
So.
And if they need to do an investigation, I'll provide whatever I need to do for them to look into it. I'm
what number
fully
can be reached at?
715-572-0651.
065.
I'll provide video evidence. I will provide written documentation. I will provide anything, everything, recordings, whatever I need to show what I am saying,
Okay.
to back it up and where it shows differently from what they're.
Okay. Well, again, that's where you're going to, where you present that, I don't know. Again, the other thing is this jurisdictional issue that you're bringing up is all in the city of Stevens Point. They would
It's
be.
what? I didn't hear.
I got it.
The jurisdiction is in the city of Stevens Point, so you would need to deal with Human Services or the Stevens Point Police Department, because these issues are happening in their jurisdiction. I understand it's all in Portage County, I get that, but we have jurisdictions that we typically don't overlap in. If they ask us for their assistance, we're gonna help them, but we're not going to take things over in their jurisdiction. Does that make sense?
It does, but you also oversee if there's things that aren't going correctly.
Sure, but you haven't alleged anything that the Stevens Point Police Department has done anything.
They were there when they took my kids and not provided a warrant. Isn't that enough right there?
The temporary protective is what starts it. I was told there is no warrant.
You were told there was no warrant?
I was told that the TPC is what starts the process, and
Okay.
then everything gets approved through the
Says
TPC.
They told me there was a warrant.
Well, that I don't know. I didn't specifically ask
Would
that.
you like to see the warrant that they provided to the courts?
Well, I thought you said you didn't have one.
They never provided it to me that day, but they put it in discovery.
Well, that I don't know.
That's why I said I could show you. The habeas
It really
corpus.
isn't going to change anything, to be honest with you, but you came in here and were looking for a copy of the warrant initially.
Right, the one that they provided,
It's
that they
filed.
said that they gave to me, or what should have presented to me, that they didn't present to me, but yet they put in the discovery that there was one. So I want to see the warrant.
Well, I know with us, I don't know if we make copies of warrants before we send them back, but ours go back to the clerk of courts.
Well, it still should be filed somewhere, and somebody should be able to track that down and say where it is.
So that would be a question for Stevens Point
Okay.
Police Department.
All right. Well, then you got my information, and you can get back to me.
Yep, I'll call you if I can get a hold of Ryan at the DA's office and see what he can or cannot tell me.
Okay. Sounds great.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yep. Okay, that'll conclude then.
Culture.
Well, with the police officer, but my last little bit of advice is anybody watching these videos, you heard the officer say that anybody, that means any parent, any single mom, any single dad, any parents together collectively parenting their children, co-parenting, you name it, grandparents that are parenting their grandchildren,